Alright, let's see. Oh, that's boring. True end 1. Okay. Well. Okay. Time to start route B prime.
Mio.
Okay. The one waiting beyond it. Oh yeah. What was it? This nonsense. Okay. The one waiting beyond it is a bewitching woman who sleeps quietly. Nothing to be seen, nothing to be heard. Which way's up, which way's down? Left, right, forward, back. No directions clear. Not even pain can be felt. Even all sense of self has vanished. Where do I begin, and where do I end? Where does not I begin? The contents of my brain and body leak into their surroundings. My sense of their relative locations feels digitized. I know where I am, but it doesn't feel like it's really me. Will my boundary with the outside world disappear if this keeps up? That thought becomes more and more appealing, but then a pure white light suddenly starts pouring in. That dazzling brilliance brings my consciousness back to me. What? What just happened? Two mighty vectors, tensors, before my eyes threaten to collide head-on, but right before impact, a lone shadow stands in their path in order to prevent their collision. An overwhelming explosion of energy. It's something akin to the Big Bang, the birth of the universe. The light and darkness fight. The shadow bursts and scatters as if it were being devoured by the darkness and the light. That was the death of a single being, as well as the birth of countless lives. Those expelled fragments of life scattered all over the place wrap us, who are spread out in this empty space, up. And something starts projecting itself right before my very eyes. A nostalgic something that's both near and far. That something within reach that cannot be grasped is... That powerless, unconscious body is undoubtedly mine. But something is definitely different. There's almost nothing about it that feels as if it's me. It's as if I'm looking at a being from another dimension. There's a wall between me and that image. Just where am I? A look around reveals that this place is familiar. A computer network, cyberspace. Criminal's home ground, and the one place where my own existence feels real to me. The floating feeling from before and the detached feeling from before have now completely cleared up. My hand, my foot, I am here. In that case, what exactly was that scene I saw just now? As if to answer my question, tiny little lights begin to gather around me and twinkle, like fairies, like stars. Faintly warm, yet lonely at the same time. A sight that sucks you in. Unable to withstand the allure, I reach out my hand. The instant that light and my hand come into contact, I understand everything. I'm dead. 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 Completely and thoroughly dead. Deader than a dead rabbit, or maybe a dead cat, but either way, I am dead. What I saw was the thing that once was me, and the me right here and right now is... Doubt becomes belief, and I can't help but sigh. I too have finally become a ghost. A shadow null, a cyber ghost trapped in cyberspace. My surroundings suddenly changed. This is the nearby promenade. Instantly teleporting to a nearby place is almost like clicking a link on a web page. There's almost no time loss. Though this might be because I was originally a hacker. That music... That happened once before. The music was stuck on. At least I think that it's stuck and is not a deliberate choice by the author or developer or whatever. It's the time of day where the air becomes refreshing and crisp, so naturally there are plenty of people around. I'd come here from time to time when I'd get depressed. A child plays with a dog. Their laughter is a pleasant sound to my ears. Is this kid also a null? My hair flows in the breeze. The setting sun bathes the world in gentle red light. I've already lost my body, but the sound waves beating on my eardrums, the pull of my flowing hair on my scalp, the radiant sunlight on my skin, all this bodily stimuli feels so real. I unconsciously fall under the illusion that I'm still living. I close my eyes, breathe in, and savor every last sense. I open my eyes, and that's when my mood is spoiled by the sight of people making clearly unnatural movements. They're walking timidly, making sure not to have both a hand and foot before them at the same time, almost like a flock of zombies. And soon enough, I realize that they're the same as me. They're probably still not used to their lives as nulls. As for me, this world that feels more real than the real world seems like it also could be the result of Babylon's technology. Or did this 01 town change with me when I was revived? Hordes of nulls creep around the world. The sight reminds me of the Last Judgment from the Book of Revelation according to John. In it, Jesus revives all the dead, sending those that lived in accordance with God's word to heaven, and judging those that did not. So could that light back then have been... Just then, a message from a pure girl comes flying into my ears. That voice, which I heard only for a second, is enough to visibly shake my heart. I look around, but can't find anyone who looks like the owner of that voice. Who could that be? I try to trace the voice as if it were a transmission signal. Searching. Area code of reception. Server host. Whatever. Area code of transmission. Transmission server host.
ここか。
Following the link leads to an array of engraved rectangular stones. It's a cemetery security camera uplink. An interface with realspace visible from cyberspace, meaning that
言うこと聞くなよ、いい子ちゃん。
I get the camera to follow my directions with the simplest of ease. All devices connected to the network are like the limbs of electronic ghost hackers like me. There's no sign of anyone at the moment. I slowly pan the camera to the right. As the tombstones slide to the left, they reveal a small figure standing further in. Is that the sender of that message? I target the center of the screen and zoom in. The person gets gradually clearer, and then...
あれは
I doubt my own eyes. The figure is clad in black with long jet black hair, each eye a different color.
まさか。
Standing in front of a grave with her hands pressed together is none other but me. The me on the other side of the screen grips the rosary at her chest. I reflexively reach toward my chest as well, but find nothing. But I've never taken it off ever since One-sama gave it to me. Why? Why is it gone? Where did it go? Panic and anxiety engulf my body, spreading chaos through my head. But I soon remember. Oh, that's right. I gave the rosary to R, to Shinozuka Mayumi, so that must be Mayumi. The moment I realize that, I see her true form. The reason her eyes had different colors just now was because the left one's a cyber eye. I see. She must have lost that left eye in the incident. I'm glad she survived, but on the other hand, seeing that new eye of hers makes me so sad.
お姉様
She speaks to the grave in front of her. It's probably mine. But just who exactly would have done this?
ユミは彼にふさわしくないから、ただ影から力になれればいいから。
Her brooding face. I've never seen such a heartbreaking expression on her face before. That incident must have really changed our. Tears threaten to stream from those lovely eyes of hers any moment now.
でも彼はユミのことを助けてくれたから。だからユミも
Who is he? He? Or that pasty-looking underclassman of hers?
ユミは左目を失った。でもこれでお姉様と同じになったと思えば怖くない。ユミ
I recognize that cyber eye. It's the type that can sense infrared and electromagnetic waves, giving it functionality quite similar to the left eye I've had from birth.
だからお姉様
Mayumi prays desperately.
ユミに力を貸してください。
Yumi went as far as to change her appearance in order to succeed my will.
ユミは私は今日からイシュタルになるから。
Mayumi's aura sways. Determination fills the depths of her widely opened eyes.
そんなにまでして。
Mayumi looked up to me enough to call me One-sama. Yumi lost an eye and replaced it with a cyber eye. R now succeeds her One-sama's will. She reminds me so much of my old self. Though in my case, my One-sama was a completely different person, naturally, but still. Just as One-sama guided me, this time it's my turn to play the role as Mayumi's One-sama. I'll secretly help her from the darkness invisible to man. Luckily, I'm a Shadow Null in the biocomputer world now, so I want to help Mayumi without her knowing. That way, she can live with a sense of accomplishment that she succeeded at everything with her own strength. The moment I decide that, I recall the time when I first accomplished the job all by myself, almost as if my memory had been deallocated. It happened shortly after I left Anunnaki, and had just become a freelance hacker. The job wasn't all that difficult. The problem was that I had misstepped on a single stepping stone. That completely safe-looking server was, in fact, a Cyberforce decoy.
緊急事態発生。セキュリティがこちらの動きを感知しました。え？ターゲットは攻撃を開始。直ちに撤退してください。向かったわね。
Countless search sirens chase me down. Repulsion viruses keep pouring out as well.
この子な。
I easily repel the threat of the attack with anti-programs, but still, handling all this by myself is a bit too much.
攻撃プログラムがどんどん向かってきてます。緊急に撃退しないとアウトです。
Overwhelmed by the pace of the attack, I find myself getting slowly driven into a corner. If this keeps up, even the main server will get assaulted.
もうダメか。
The very moment I consider defeat.
何？
New warning alarms echo. Did I step on a logical landmine?
目標本部に新規不法侵入を発見です。
What good timing. A faint ray of hope shines within my heart.
ターゲットもその対象に全力で攻撃を開始しました。
The majority of the attack programs surrounding me shift their focus to that direction.
この隙に
I scrap several stepping stones and escape with my tail between my legs. I was really lucky back then. If it weren't for that other intruder, I'd probably still be locked up in biocomputer prison. Really? Lucky? I stopped thinking there. That timing was way too convenient. That was an all too brilliant invasion, almost as if someone had purposefully intruded in order to distract security. Could that have been...
お姉様。
Thinking about it now, I finally realized that rescue was no coincidence. My goodness, even after we parted, One-sama has always been supporting me. She'd been secretly looking out for me from the shadows. My joy from her being there for me, my regret from not noticing that she was, and now my hopes and fears for Mayumi. All these feelings and more lodged themselves in my heart as I gazed through the camera at Mayumi, at the new Ishtar.
あなたの思いは、きちんと誰かに託すことができて、